Hello, coming to you live from the dirty South, Winston-Salem. How's everybody doing tonight on this? What is this? Divisional championship weekend or whatever. Uh, got the Bills and Ravens on. I did not watch the Redskins game. I wish I would have. I didn't think it was going to go that way. So we see who we got tonight. We got Hodges. What's going on? Battery. No, I'm just trying to work with lighting in here. So I don't have an overhead light on. I just have some backlight over behind me, and all my monitors are on, giving me light. So all three monitors. I don't have a. I need to get. If I'm really serious, I ought to get lighting in here. Yeah, thank you. And we got Three River again. Thank you so much for that package last week. Uh, love it, love it, love it. And yeah, so we speaking of that battery, I saw some pretty nice what's up, Doc? I I'll get to you in a minute, but thinking of battery, I meant to contact you today because I was on the Fanatics and they had some pretty cool gilded cards and stuff like that. They weren't graded, they were just authenticated and they were going for like $5. Nobody's bid on them yet. Uh yeah, I got a microphone pretty early on. These are pretty cheap. It's uh they're called uh snowballs, blue snowball. They come in black, white, and then they have like one that looks like a regular microphone. My friends got this one too because we were all streaming video games and playing at the time of some shooter games and on Twitch. And I don't know why I got this one. I think I just got it because it was the cheapest one they had. That was actually pretty good. That had a good rating. Doctor exclusive. Thank you for the heads up again. I ended up getting a Batman card, 2 Jungle Book cards, and quite a bit of uh the pinups, some of the nicer looking women of the early 1900s to 1950s probably. Some of my great aunts were named after them, so I thought that was pretty cool and also not bad to have. And I got them like $2 each. Swedish cards. Doc hits me up for that. I saw a lot of hockey. Did you put in for any of those hockey cards that they had, Doc? Battery too. I kind of want to get a soundboard. They're pretty cheap. Uh, so that way the levels are better, especially for me and my dad, because me and him are starting. I need to get him a mic, just so he sounds a little bit the same as I do. Um, we did do a video today. It comes out tomorrow. Oh, you didn't? Okay. And his wife just got out the house. I had to run up to Friday afternoon after I took a half day, went to my dad's and helped them. She's been in the hospital all week with pneumonia. That's going around. That whatever up their chest flu, whatever is turning into. Um, man, if you're somebody in you have it or your family, I feel bad for you because she's doing really good, but she's got oxygen. I had to help with all that because my dad has a hernia and he's got to go to see the surgeon Thursday. So it's been one thing after another with them too, but that's okay. That's why I moved back to the East Coast to help out, and my sister's helping, so everything is good. Uh, I see battery. I bought all 5 Braves World Series Ultra short prints from 2022 Top Series 1 on Friday or so. I thought seller would need refunded money. Was it a so was it an outright purchase or was it a auction? So I've had a couple of auctions do that. I hate those auctions where they put the money, it doesn't get to where they want it, and it cancels itself. And I'm like, just start it there. If that's what you want, then start it there. What are you doing? It's obviously that's not what you're going to get. It was a buy it now. No shit. I wonder if he offered it to somebody else. We have a friend that does that and got it a little bit more out of it. Yeah. But just kind of watching tonight. We got more news on the what's the new series, the series 1 coming out, getting excited about that. Hearing about that just gets me hyped for baseball. What's up, Three Rivers? I bought a couple of big cards lately off of eBay, and I'm sick of the delays with the authentication. My problem has been the opposite. Is I've gotten the cheap cards with the white envelope, 3 of them that I purchased a month ago now, and I didn't pay a lot for any of them, but still, there were WNBA cards. One was a Plume rookie. One was, I don't think that one was ever sent out because he didn't get what he wanted to in an auction. So, the other one was a Aja Wilson, the sideways prism, which has got a certain name for it. Sellers Remorse probably too. And then what was the other one? It was Plume, Aja Wilson. There was 3 that I haven't got. I did pick up that. I showed that Caitlin Clark that I got this week. I seemed to like a Braves fan that really didn't want to part with items. Maybe he found the one that he needed to complete the rainbow or something. He's like, screw it. I got the rainbow now. But yeah, I went on today, threw some bids for those Fanatics, 5 cheap ones. A Caps rookie goalie. And then what else did I put? I can't even remember, because a lot of times I find stuff that fits my PC, but not big stuff. Oh, really? Already PSA graded, huh? So let me ask you this, Battery, or Carlisle, if I may. If you would have got those, let's say, in 8s or 7s for a better price, would you have gone for that? Or because I'm in this, when I go on Fanatics a lot, they got good prices on lower end cards, right? 7s, 8s. And again, I'm sorry, Carlisle, not to forget, right before I went on, I saw you mentioned me, and I don't know if you voted for me or just mentioned my name in your ballot, but thanks either way. I deeply appreciate that. As I will get to tonight, as you see, I have it up in my corner that time of year. But I tend to hesitate, like if it's like a finest, that hulks, or certain cards that just don't grade well, like cards that motion cards and stuff like that. Over the years, they just don't grade well, and I'm just as happy. I want the card, and if I can get it for $5, I can get it for $5. And like I said, I'm buying on the vault over a year, or on this Fanatics, and I'm putting them in my vault. And at the end of the year, I'll have them all shipped to me and see what I got and see if I'm still happy at the end of the year. Just something I'm trying. I'm giving me a budget of like $50 a week, either to get one card or spread it out. And right now, just going after lower end stuff. I haven't really seen much other things. So for an ultra short print, I'm a little more flexible. They're about 20 of the, yeah. I'm the same way. I'm almost like Independence Day. I mean, if it's even under 300, I start kind of questioning it because a lot of people that are new, they don't understand this. Cars used to be numbered to 10,000 or was short and it was still hard to hit. So when I see cards numbered to 400, to me, I'm still thinking, man, it's only 400 copies out there, and how many? I mean, Jesus. I saw Sue's post a picture today at the White Plains show tonight. I was kind of hoping Eric would be on if he went. It seemed like elbow to elbow in there. So there is a lot of people out here, and I don't care if they're collecting, flipping, selling, starting fires. They're consuming cards, right? Oh, you did not. Oh, hey, evening, Eric. Oh, you did not go. Okay. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. So it's kind of like you don't want to just and let me tell you, if I look at the 7 and all the corners and it's a red or some color and you can see all 4 white corners on the front, it's just not going to look good. But if it looks good and you can't really tell why it's a 7, I'm gonna go after, especially if it's a variant. I bought a PSA 7 Caitlin Clark Pink Ice Parallel from Select. I would normally buy a 7 with minor stuff, but won it in an auction for significantly less than raw. Yeah. And man, her stuff right now, her stuff is just ridiculous. So you got to be kind of happy when you get it. I did, if you see over my shoulder here, the Time WNBA Athlete of the Year or Woman Athlete of the Year, excuse me, up there. I did purchase that from Time Magazine and put that up. I thought I was overpaying. Well, somebody once said it's in this chat. If you're okay with paying for it and you're happy with it, then you're not overpaying. If somebody else says that, that's their opinion. It's all an opinion. You're giving them money, and it's just like when somebody feels like they take under what they should have took. If they're okay with it, then they're okay with it. But that's to me. You want to win, of course. You want to get the stuff as cheap as possible. But this "I gotta win" thing sometimes gets in the way of getting what you want. You just got to feel comfortable with that money coming out of your pocket. That's at the end of the day. That's my opinion on it. It varies. If you're into "I got to win the discussion," then that more power to you. I paid the guy $4,200 for the 5 cards, so he clearly wanted to keep them. Holy shit, you're right. Yep. Yeah, that I can't believe. Only if he thought he'd get more. That's just or he thought about it, and like you said, he's a Braves fan and didn't want to. So, well, you'll run back into him better. You will. That's the fun thing. It might be 10 years from now, but that's why I try to calm down on my FOMO at the end of the day. If it just doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm so happy with what I have already. Now everything I buy, I feel like I'm just adding to a collection that I would have never thought I would have had 25, 30 years ago. I wouldn't think I had this 10 years ago. I would have probably thought I had this 5 years ago. So every time I purchase something, it feels like an addition to something that I thought I never would have anyway. So I'm very happy with it. At the end of the day, owning the card is what matters. You're the guy that I was speaking of, Eric. Eric, that's one of those TBP things that I've always held on to. That and today's high prices, tomorrow's bargain. That's something you got to keep in mind too. The discussion we had when I got to Gretzky that year, that was good words to love by when it comes to the hobby, but you also got to make sure not to put yourself in a bad situation. You can never put yourself in a bad situation. Your life, your loved ones. I know if something happens and I got to get rid of this stuff, I got to get rid of it. It's just just the way it is. I didn't work any overtime this last 2 weeks. So the next 2 weeks, it's going to be pretty hobby bear for me. It's, I got to pay bills and this fat guy's got to eat. So, cardboard doesn't taste too well. Difficult thing in internal battle of what perk run is low enough. Yeah, unless they never thought they so that's what. Yeah, I put myself in the shoes and decided to give him a pass. I would have felt bad to get the cards I wanted and have the other guy feel remorseful. Yeah. What's up, Matt? I did a year-long record on a card 300 of a player I collect. Only 53 popped up on eBay that year, so not art cards are numbered somewhat high pop up. Yeah, but it depends on who it is. To me, 53 of 300 is not a lot. If I'm reading what you're writing correctly, yeah, that's not one or two. And a lot of times, that first couple of weeks that cards come out, you'll see a lot of them out there. And then the people that collect that player or team will snab them up, or people that just think they can flip them. And my biggest fear with that, the last one, was they're going to sit in the back of a closet somewhere if the person can't feel the money's right, instead of just getting rid of it. And that's what's scary. It was an Astros player. Okay. You want to tell us which one? Or hope it what? Let me see if I can guess. It might have been Altuve. Altuve gets sold a lot because people outside of Houston don't like him. So there you go. Yeah, Altuve. Another one I noticed, man, one year I still could pick up trouts, right? So for some reason one night I was trout hunting, and I believe one of the sets just released, one of the mid-range sets, and the color variant was red was in it. And this set didn't have a lot of variants, 2 or 3, whatever. And oh my God, I think all the reds were on eBay. That's like every one of them, I believe, was on eBay like 2 days after this release. I was like, is anybody keeping So yeah, some players just get, trout. The love for trout's kind of faded a little bit. I'm okay with that. I'll pick them up. I know Eric will pick them up. Other people out there pick them up. How do y'all feel about the Dodgers just picking up more pitching? Yeah, I think I saw 5 of them on there. Yeah, I like trout hunting. I use hand grenades, and I this guy that came over, this new Japanese phenom, he's going to be probably good. I'll pick up his rookie card. I'm not going to get the now that's out. Then they also got Scott, for a deal. The rich just got richer, and that team's going to be really, really good. Sorry, watching this guy run all over the place. Really pulling for Buffalo, and I cannot stand the Ravens. If the Super Bowl's Ravens and Eagles, I will not watch. No way. If someone is angry that the Dodgers are going to win all the time, I would recommend that they buy more Ohtani so they can sell it down the line. Yeah. I don't know if you're just a fan of the team. I'm not upset that they got them. It's just they're. I like to see the structure of the contracts. I like to see, they definitely had room because of the structure of the other contracts they had. So, and they got rid of some players this year. But that doesn't mean they had enough room to pay. I know they had to find more international room from other teams to having, but Dodgers pitching was their weakness last season. Braves have been active but haven't signed anyone yet. Yeah. The Mets have picked up a few players here and there to solidify some places. I think there's going to be a lot of movement coming up now that the international draft is over or the international signings are over. I think some of these players that are out there, Pete turned down, Bregman turned down. It's just that's what it is right now. Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about buying Roki. I just don't see the hobby value there. Yeah, I'm not worried about the hobby value, Eric, on him. I just think picking up a rookie, I just like to have a rookie of him. Grade it and put him a rookie box of players. That's kind of how I do things. Does your dad have a hot take on the signing? Not his thing is like is nobody in the league want to pay big contracts? Is the league changing to more depth, having more play instead of having 2-3 stars, having a whole team of very good players, all stars. You're seeing the Indians or the Guardians, the Royals kind of building that way. Baltimore built the interior, but Baltimore needs help pitching. My thing with I'm trying to figure out who is going to pick up Trevor Bauer at a cheap price. I just cannot understand. It's Ohtani's team, but Mookie struggles and Freddie is back to a row. Yeah, I have that Mookie isn't. Ever since Mookie left to go to Boston, I'm a believer, and Amish Dave will argue with me, and that's fine. We can all have our opinions, and I'm probably wrong, but I do think there is a West Coast thing. I've lived on both coasts and in the middle. When you go out to the West, it's this huge difference, and only a part of the country watches your games. You're not relevant to other part of the country, and Freddie Freeman just isn't vocal. He just wants to play and win championships and hit triples. That's how he is. So yeah, and the thing is, and Mets owner was I see Battery answering you, Eric, but Freddie Freeman played his butt off last year, proved that he's going to probably be a first-time ballot, but in the hobby, he's still not one of the guys. He's still not, and I think that comes back to a lot of what my man Wesker talks about watching the games. Is you have a lot of people buying cards as a financial thing, and not all of them are crazy collectors like we are, or crazy. And our collection is an extension of our fandom. And watch the games, look at the stats, know these people, who can play. I saw a crazy group of people talking about Hall of Famers, and 3 of the people on the group have stated numerous times they don't watch modern baseball. So I don't know how they could talk about who was going into the Hall of Fame out of that group. So, so that's just, and I can't fault people that buy however you want to do it. A lot of people only know about their team. Only people follow their players. Freddie Freeman's never been flashy. He's coming to the league quietly. He's going to go out the league quietly. What happened with his son, that should have been like just a motivation for a lot of people to know who he is, I think. But and in him, what he did in the World Series will never be duplicated, right? I mean, he was a monster. Let's see. Mets owner was on a few years ago, but then bailed pretty quick afterwards. So I don't know. Well, he's into it, but I don't think the players want to come there. They're the second team in the first city. So I don't care what Soto says. It's still Yankees City. Um, and I think a lot of players I think Soto went there for one. The owner was going to give him whatever he wanted, outside of money as well. Lindor's there. He loved him and Lindor. I think Soto loves friendships. Him and Trey Turner, that was huge for him. And him and Trey Turner, come up together, play together. Well, not come up together, but they were young on the Nationals together, and you saw that friendship. And I think, I just think, that's a huge thing. Let's see. Yamamoto is extremely good, and he's kind of afterthought too. Glasnow was on a Cy Young pace for a while, and you never hear about him. There's too much star power. Well, they're going to go to a 6-man rotation because they're going to try to guard Yamamoto's arm. They're going to try to guard the new pitcher because he's never pitched over 120 innings in his 5 years or 4 years or whatever in Japan. And that's the problem with the Japanese players. They have a 7. Most of the time they're off 7 days in between starts. They only play like 5 days a week. And their season, is not crunched very busy as the MLB season is. So it's hard for them sometimes to come right into that. Yeah, fickle bitch. That's true. Hobby. That's what I was saying. Sometimes it just doesn't matter until I finish picking up his entire brand. Yeah, I'm glad I don't collect the laundry. What's up, Ed? Ed, the invite's always out there for you. Congrats to you and your Eagles today. Who gives a shit what the hobby thinks? The hobby's filled with idiots. Watch the games that appreciate greatness. Yeah, you're exactly right, but the hobby does have a say in the matter. Freeman literally got Ohtani a ring. Ohtani did nothing in a big. Yeah, he was hurt, but yes, you're exactly right. Yeah, he. That first game, they're like, "Oh, he's like Kirk Gibson." And I was like, "Man, Kirk Gibson wishes he was Freddie Freeman." Oh man. The Yankees are, yeah, of course. Read these comments faster, Big Scott. I'm trying to. I have to. I can't just not talk, right? I have to talk. It doesn't matter if I have somebody on here or not. I'm going to talk. I enjoy. I hope everybody has a 3-day weekend this weekend. I don't know. I do. I enjoy mine. 6-man rotations would be smart across the league. Honestly, most teams just wouldn't sell the same amount of tickets as trotting their star out there, extra handful of starts. Yeah, and I think what Major League Baseball did when they went to that 1-man extra, right, lineup, or how many players you can have on your team. I think they were thinking that teams would go to the 6-man, but more teams just added to the bullpen. Yeah, because I think if you really want to save arms and you want these starting pitchers to go out there 100% every day, you got to do that. Mookie's also a beast. Hobby loves to hate on him for whatever reason. Mookie's awesome, but for whatever, when he left Boston, I remember, he was the first one that I ever heard, when he got traded. I need his Dodger rookie, and I thought that was going to be a thing. Like, really? Now when somebody gets traded or whatever, now they got another rookie card. This is going to be some. Don't let Tops over here y'all say that. So I just think when he went out there, only part of the country here, unless you're a baseball fan, but casual fans, which I'm sorry, a lot of collectors are casual fans. Not everybody can sit down every night and watch a game or watch baseball tonight or look at the box scores. It's a long seasons. First Dodgers card, yeah. I I was, thank goodness that never took off. But then after that, I didn't hear anything. And he's still one of the best players in baseball. It's not like he's fallen off. I mean, he's still first ballot, right? When they asked Freddie Freeman after game one whether his home run was reminiscent of Gibson homer, he said, tongue in cheek, hey, I played the entire game. Exactly. First time here. The fact Mookie decided to just start playing shortstop in his 30s is Hall of Fame worthy in itself. Yeah, but he came up as a second baseman, moved to outfield at Boston. He's not when he came up through the minors, he played middle infield. So I believe his rookie card even said second base / outfield on some of them. But anyway, I'm really, this season's going to be interesting. I don't know. Mike talked about it in his last video about when he opened up baseball cards, but I don't know if the rookie class this year is going to be, something to scream about, but I don't really care. I think there's going to be good baseball regardless. Some teams got better. Some teams I'm still trying to figure out what they're doing, what direction, like Baltimore. White Sox. I think the White Sox are just trying to build by losing. I love what the A's are doing. The A's have picked up some key players and spent some money, gave extensions. I don't know what that means for them, but maybe they're going to be a little bit more competitive this year. Somebody needs to make Pittsburgh competitive. For example, if you watch the games, Mahomes has that special whistle on the lockdown. The Chiefs have Caitlin Clark in the box now too. Yeah. My gosh, I didn't watch the game, but I was checking Marketplace and before I could, the first thing that was on Facebook was that the players usually come up as shortstops, but that's only because their teammates sucked at shortstop. Yeah, so my dad, if you watch tomorrow, he's going to name off the top 15 international players, and all of them are basically shortstops. Of course, the first one's the pitcher. And it's funny, like they say what he's got, and the rest of them are like 1 point something to 2 point something. But yeah, that was I 2 years ago in the first round, they were all shortstops or pitchers, and if you listen to a lot of stories of catchers and stuff, a lot of times in the Latin leagues, the shortstops and catchers, but now they're just shortstops. And they're so young, they can move them to pitcher, center field, catcher. So where they're at now is probably not where they're going to end up. Especially the guy the Mets picked up. He's supposed to be a great offensive, and Eric, you might know more about him. They said great offensive shortstop, and I was like, can he not catch a ground ball? I didn't understand what that meant. Does he suck at defense so bad? That's all they can say about him. So let's see. Watch the retro debut RPAs in 2025 wax. So you think they're going to do that? Do retro debut cards? Caitlin has the opposite of the special whistle. She gets no whistle. That's why she got. Yeah, and the poor girl had to defend herself while she was at the game today. She said her family is lifelong Chief fans. She's from Iowa. In Iowa, there's a lot of Chief fans. Iowa's right in the middle. A lot of Chiefs, a lot of Minnesota. You go north, it's Minnesota. More south is Kansas City. When you go out to the eastern part of the state, it's Chicago. But they all interchange. It's like who was the best team when they were growing up is basically who they're going to follow in that region. So that's kind of how it is. I have not. Where are they showing that? I've seen highlights. I saw Reese got her first double because she sucks and has to get her own rebounds. Oh, Money Martin got her. I saw their team entering. They were showing them entering on. I forget what I was looking at. But I haven't found where they're showing the games yet. TNT, okay. And I mean, that's a smart thing. They're playing it on a stage with little seating. There's been a lot of players already showed up to watch and stuff. So, um, yeah. And Ed, if you want to go to that, I'm all down for going Friday night, 100% to watch them at the Sky. And then we can go to the Myco thing afterwards because it's at 6:30. It's going to be over with by 8. I'm going to have my car. So Robert Nutting needs to sell the team. He says he wants to win. Has actions say otherwise. He would make a great politician. I'd say, yeah, it shows to me that he's just making money off of everything. He's not paying large contracts and he's still making money. So why? He doesn't care about when he's caring about putting money in his pockets. And he'll still put money in his pockets by building a great team. That's what drives me crazy. That's kind of my point with Mookie. Everyone starts at shortstop and then has to transition away to Stanley. Yep. So, if you played any baseball growing up, your best player in your team is going to be your shortstop. Your shortstop, he usually pitches, and then usually you have a pretty good catcher and center fielder, right? That's probably where your best players are. But shortstop is by far your best player. Growing up, high school, college, and then when they get to the pros or to the minors, they'll start moving those guys around. KC is the local team for Iowa. Not for all. When I was there, it wasn't for all of Iowa. Now, there was quite a few season ticket holders that I worked with, and they had to drive 4 hours to get there. But, it was also a lot of Chicago Bears fans, mostly Minnesota, because I was in northern Iowa. Minnesota was the big. Oh, and a lot of Green Bay Packer fans. I almost forgot. And I think it's a lot to do with the era that you grew up in, right? Or your parents liked. So, does anyone have any skin in the game? With Robert, most stuff on there I can't afford, so I don't even entertain looking at it at the show, much less. $100 going to the game, Scott. It would probably cost around $100 for the nice seats. Yeah, but we don't need that. I saw I'll pay it. You want to sit on we can sit on the thing. I'm gonna definitely get me I'm gonna get me a Golden State hat and wear it. And watch Reese just hit a bunch of break shots, building a house in there. I don't know I don't think they're going to play in the big arena. They'll probably play in whatever secondary arena they usually do. What's up, Blue Rock? Nutting also owns a local ski resort. Probably puts more effort into that, honestly. Yeah. Blue Rock TV is in the house. It was something I was going to say to you, Blue Rock, and I can't remember. It was I was thinking about it today. I saw you posted your YouTube stuff. And again, that's so we're in. So you know what time it is. It's YouTube Hall of Fame time. I'm not here to get on a stool or talk about why anybody should be in, including me. Just let you know. So, we always talk about it. This is usually one of the funniest controversial part of the times in our community. It brings some people a lot of tenderness, tender. They're very tender-hearted, and a lot of people like me, we just laugh. And it's fun to see, damn, to see all the people, and I appreciate. I've already got several votes, and it means it's very humbling when you hear your name come out of somebody's mouth and why they're voting for you. I did like 3D Kid or 80s Kid. I always get his name all mixed up. His showing my first video. Yeah, that was one of the times. I did what Eric always said: turn it on and start. And that's basically what I did. So it's been a long time, man. It's been a while since that. Let's see. What are we hearing about Pete Alonso? Is he going to San Francisco? San Francisco, San Diego, Toronto. Since Toronto can't sign anybody, they definitely got the money. I wouldn't be half shocked if he went to Chicago too. That was my first pick of where to go. Who knows? The Dodgers might pick him up. Who's coming to the All-Star game in Atlanta this season? It looks like I'll be closing on a condo 1 mile from the ballpark in a week. Well, with me, I already told you, me and Mike are probably, maybe Ed, if Ed comes down, we definitely want to go to a game. And Mike, we want to go to the house that Jeff built. Mary Gamble. Vintage flipping done right. Congrats, Carlisle. Yeah, really, I voted for you. I can help with your acceptance speeches. Thank you. The University of I had no clue what I was doing. But yeah, so the season's here. Let's have fun with it. Let's don't get too crazy with it. We all, some people take it way too serious, and and I think there is something to it, but it's gone off the rails a long time ago, and I don't think it ever can get back to what I think it should be. And I'm not the only one that probably feels that way, but and that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna say I don't care. That's the seriousness. And I don't know how I'm gonna vote, which way I'm gonna vote. I don't know if I'm gonna vote. I probably will. But I just don't know. And I have a few names in mind, but I don't know if I'm gonna vote for 10 people, if I'm gonna cut it off early. Because my thought on what it should be and what it is are definitely two different things. So let's just keep it at that, because I think this type of thing, this YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame thing, my vote is for sale as well. Eh? I was gonna say that at the end, like, hey, you got all I need is a Pete Alonso auto, and we'll be in. Or David Wright. But I lost my train of thought there. Let's see. My whole thing is, just I don't want to make it where it's bitter, where you don't want to see somebody at a show where we can't talk to each other. That type of, or people get mad and stuff like that. It make videos that are not necessarily in our sphere, but in outside of it. And I've talked to some of these people because I want to be all inclusive. I've always said it. I don't care. Jeff Wilson can make videos. We don't have to agree with him. But my God, right now he's the face of our hobby, like it or not. Maybe not in our inner circles, but on the outside, he is the face of the hobby. When you talk about people that's got firsthand, they can talk to any of the people that are the movers and shakers of the industry, he can do it. that uh, I don't. I did it as a joke on my car tour room. Uh, I thought early. I'm going to say this. I thought early on he was a grifter. I kind of pointed out some things about it, but a lot of people do, Eric. A lot of people do. He came. He's got a big thing at the National and other shows, and people line up. Not just kids, but older people too. They hang on every word he says, and I don't think we should do that on anybody in this hobby. I think what you should be doing is listening to other people, but creating your own ideas. That's what I've always said. Your personal journey is the funnest part of this hobby. Sitting there copycatting somebody else. Now you might see somebody get a card and go, "Oh, I want to get that card." We do that all the time. I've seen, I know I bought a comic book because I saw Eric Nosback Pages get the comic book. And I was like, "Hey, I want that comic book." And I went. It was one that they just sent out for Walking Dead that you can only get on at your comic book store. You think he does? I don't think so, but maybe people in the hobby, it's like the people, but not the people that run the hobby. And right now, the hobby is so corporate, and Jeff is corporate. That they all run in the same circles. That's where I felt like people buying the high, like the super stupid high end cards and buying parts of it and letting some company hold on to it was just embarrassing because it was their card and everybody bought a part into it. It might still be going on. I don't know. But they're probably having dinner parties and it's under a glass and they're all sitting there laughing because they didn't pay a penny and they make the choice when they get sold or not. So, that's how I feel on this right now is like on this time of year, make the videos. I like the entertaining ones. I don't know if I've been messing around a little bit with one of the editors to try to be go back to my little bit more creativity. If I have now, I'm slowing down at work a little bit right now, so I have more time. And I don't know if this will be that way or not. And you also have a right not to participate into it, right? We all have that freedom if you want to or not. I kind of do because I feel like I'm part of the community. I might not like everything that goes on in it, and I have a voice, and I'm gonna have that voice. So, let's see. Versus the Porsche Steelers all this time. Yeah, that's my favorite Assassin's Creed. Is that story? Jabs annoys me sometimes, but I respect the heck out of him. Always support LCSs around the area and advertisers for them. And Three Rover, I'll let you have your opinion. I don't like the man, and nothing can be said to change that. Just there's several things I've seen him done that I just don't agree with. So, Amish Dave, you're not going to retire. You're one of the guys I'm voting. Well, not you, but your group there. So, that's that's how I feel about it. That's why I wanted to bring it on. And as Carlos says, this thing brings this is just a blessing to the content gods, and we'll wait to see what foolishness it brings. Hey, what's up, Bronx boys? The Devils. This is a very true statement. And I got a couple of OGs, and that's part of where I'm going to vote is I feel like longevity is definitely a part of Hall of Fame, right? And, numbers in our little small world, you can't really go by that. But I like to go by respect and longevity in our community. That's part of the problem with jabs is the respect part. But I think some people are going to be surprised the way I go with some of my votes this year. And one of them is a guy that I have had words with on this channel. So not directly, but me and him have gone back and forth on our own channels, right? But and I'll go through the reasoning why when I go over it. I'm not that narcissistic. I am not voting for myself. I'm finding it hard to believe I already got the votes that I have. Yeah, I know. Look, Eric, if I could vote again for you and Mike and Ed, I would. But I can't, So there you have it. You make another channel. I don't know. I think it's not right that Mike Fabian can't get in. I'll say that out loud. But they made a rule. We're sticking by that rule, even though Fabian was making content, way before a lot of people on here were making content. And, he's one of the OGs, the guys that when you go to the national, he's talking to all the guys that have been around for a while. So it's so and, it is what it is. For me, I always stunned with all these vintage baseball collectors voting for folks after 3 years of making fits. It doesn't add up there. You need X amount of years, and on here it's 3. Yeah. Dave, I'm with you. I love to talk to you about that off of here. Yeah, should we get a vote to remove one Hall of Famer each year? Hey, we'll remove Mike O. Or Ed. We'll start a Hall of Fame of YouTube Hall of Famers. That way you can vote for them all. Yeah. B is greater than we. Yeah, so I feel like the first time I ever heard of it, I didn't vote. I didn't know about it the first year, and then after the second year I did. Then I got into it on the third year. But I think I'm 6-7 years into this now. I don't know. Of being on the YouTubes, I think it's 6. I'll talk on air. I ruffle more feathers than Tyson or Gideon or Thanksgiving. Yeah, it is ironic that the person that runs it loves the Hall of Fame and tries to run it like the Hall of Fame, but says you got to have 3 years. And it's kind of, what's up, Henry? It's it's kind of weird that way, because I think at first you had to be 5 years, but then they were like 3. It wasn't enough people with 5. I don't know. It just kind of, when it got changed to 3, it's kind of funny who was on the 3-year plateau. But I hate to talk about conspiracies and don't really care that much. See, this is the type of talk that then we start, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be all encompassing. You're going to have a natural people get rubbed the wrong way. We don't need this type of thing to do it. And that's like, I think, and yeah, you said, I don't know if you heard me. I thought, I think it's wrong that Mike, you can't, Fabian can't be on here. Like I said, Lico 3, some of these guys that have been on forever, you were right there with them. Mike, Ed, yeah. So I thought it was the first year was 1, then Mike turned it to 5, and then it got changed to 3. So yeah, I think there should be something where I think the guys that are actual people in the YouTube community should have their own vote, their own nomination to put up one person, maybe, and and do it where everybody has a vote, and you know, and do it that way. But I don't know if it's that many, or maybe what the first year people or the community. I don't know how to. That's one of those things. Like, I hear those, and I know we had that one year, but now you got so many people that are in the Hall of Fame. It's just. I mean, really, and that's tongue in cheek. So Mookie's not. He's not been around enough. What's up, Paul? For all the pre-war lovers, they want history preserved on here. They want it forgotten. Rest in peace, Ravens. I hope so, but man, it's still a whole quarter. That's why I answer always say Dave and try to preach respecting the YouTube history. I try to respect history as it is, and it's going to change, and I just don't want people to put too much into this. It's nice, and Jake does a great job. Has a channel. I think it's fun how we do this. It's always, for me, it's fun to always talk about it. So many grifters, and you know what? The grifters are who's winning, Eric. The people that want to sit there and talk about, how much things are, and PSA's feeding into it. They just raised their prices. I forgot to talk about that tonight. I think PSA is just pretty much giving their middle finger to the regular collectors. And I'll tell the guy himself right to his face. I think he, this bullshit where he's a collector too and all that. He might be, but he doesn't collect like we collect. It's a little different when you got that much money. At that point, you're not collecting. I bet you all this shit's in a safe. You want me to show? Let me show something tonight that I wanted to talk about too before I get off. I don't have to work tomorrow, so we're not in no rush. So I got this in the mail this week. It's the Paul Skeens Living Set Portrait, whatever they call it. And I don't know if I like this. This is the first one that I've seen that's not a portrait. That's just not the picture of the face. It's half his body. Thank you. But my point is, so I did go and look because I usually go and they didn't have anything else I wanted this past week. And I knew there was a couple in the backlog that I wanted to pick up. Well, they're saying now they're all sold out. There is no Throwback Thursday. There was the living set, of course, and this week's living set, and I think last week's you could have bought the portraits of. Yeah, and I just caught this and I was like, well, this is very different than any of my other ones I have. And I think this is like 10 or 11 that I have now. There you go, Roy. I do have the Roy. I don't have the Warren Spahn. Actually, my Gary Carter, now you said it, that's right here, is not. That's him kneeling. So good point. but most of them are like my David Wright next to it. Now that's very old school. It's hard to win games when you have 3 turnovers and the other team has none. Yeah, Big Smooth. Oh, is he a Bills fan? But I was just pointing that out. I don't know if they're just getting away from the .com stuff and maybe just Tops Now. I don't know. I'm interested to see how much they're going to do with Tops Now this year. They had a huge Tops Now set last year. So I don't know. And I don't know how everybody feels about that anyway. I've always enjoyed it. Thursday was my day to go on and see what all their cards, because it was, everybody yells about short prints. Well, they're short prints. So and I really love the evening sets. I don't trust anyone talking about cards that I wouldn't trust telling me where the sun rises and sets, or folks who have links to their own merch being sold on their YouTube page. Comment. Well, if you join my Patreon, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm with you 100%. When Jeff first started, he was promoting his Instagram. So I jumped on his Instagram. No pictures of anywhere he went, no shows, nothing. But it got you back to his webpage. And then his webpage had something very interesting, which was the Collectors Diners Club. I always used to bring up, and I thought was very, very sketchy. I have merch. I have shirts out there. My dad's almost washed his totally clean without the name on it. Amish Dave has a baseball card of me. But and then I sat there, and then his website got you back to his YouTube page. So it was just a circle, right? It just went the circle. And none of it meant anything. And to this day, it's kind of the same way. It's just him selling stuff. If it's not, his, thing with his the cards that they pick to put on there, the prices of Big Griff 35. There you go. Yeah, I sell all the 25-cent cards. That was kind of funny. But some people were in this for a business, like Ryan. I've always respected him and wait, because he's just so upfront. But I didn't agree with a lot of what happened with that PSA thing. And I don't really like the 232 show or whatever with those two guys. But he the insightfulness into his card shop and where he really bends over backwards for kids, and he's so accessible, especially at shows. And a lot of those other guys are not that way. And I have more respect for the what's his face that I didn't know who was that the first one that was out there. He has his own cards and all that stuff too. Ryan's one of his disciples and the two guys. But anyway, until I saw what he was doing with the kids, he was taking his time, kind of shushing off the adults to get to the kids. At the last Chicago show, I don't know if he was at Cleveland, who I'm thinking of. But anyway, I there's some people that have the money and they're very Gary V. Thank you very much. Three River, you're in my head. That's a scary place to be, my man. Yeah, so I don't have a grifting, of course, is terrible, especially if you're in it if you don't believe in what you're saying, we can see right through you. And I think that's the problem with Jeff. He fakes it a lot, and we can see right through it. We got Teapot and all these other guys. Same way. I feel the same way with some other people. They're so easy to just see right through them, and that's when it's bad. But some other people, they'll sell merch and other things, and hey, you try to make a dollar, you try to make a dollar. I would buy an Amish Dave T-shirt or the Insert Revolution T-shirt. I buy stuff from Scott all the time. Let's see here. I think that's sort of how the 53 Tops was, but was no card of 53 Tops, almost like cartoon. Amish Dave, come on, Big Griff 35, all bullshit because of the pandemic. You still think we're living in? Now, a lot of people came in during a pandemic, but are we still living that life? I'd like for the card companies to be transparent on what the hell's going on, why we got to wait a year. Really? Upper Deck, you're a year and a half behind almost. It's nice because I can pick up some 23, 24 Upper Deck, and I got some more, nice rookie cards. But come on, really? I thankful I have nothing except the most complete collection of a guy who had a couple of and that's the where I'm at, Dave. Is like my collection. If somebody can't, I want you to come in and go, okay, these are the guys Scott likes. This is the sports he likes. This is non-sports stuff he likes, whatever. And I can care less. I get, all of us, if somebody finds out you collect, what's your most expensive card? Do I have some comma cards? Yes. But they're probably not my favorite cards. A couple of them are because they were my dad's, but most of the cards I really enjoy, I picked up at shows, got from friends, stories behind them. That's why I had so much fun showing off my card room, because the stories I get to relive every time I look at it. Why I got it, when I got it, who I got it from. It's surprising how much of that you remember. Yeah, that's true. Fabian, I'm fine with it. People doing it for business. Just say it up front. Game on to watch. Oh, came on to watch, guys. Oh, well, thank you, Don. I think, is your son still down here at High Point? Because if he is, he probably thought he was getting away from the Pennsylvania cold, and it's been cold down here the last few weeks. Nice these couple of days. I want an Amish Dave straw hat. I want an Amish Dave plushie. I think he would make a good plushie. Put it on the back of his couch. There has to be more than one printing company. Yeah, I got you, Amari. Don't get Lou riled up. Amish Dave, the T-shirt. Amish Dave. Oh, okay, yeah. Man, it's been kind of cold down here. I mean, he's probably nothing to him, but it's probably like, damn, I went south. I went to Amish Dave Jewelers Loop so I can put finish better. Yeah. We can I can make an Amish Dave shirt. I have and I can actually put it on a channel to sell. Y'all, if T Public, I think is the name of it. They're always looking for artists in new shirts. I think that would be a winner. Hey Dave, are y'all going to the National this year? Or am I gonna have to make a trip out to Minnesota or something this summer to see you guys? So what we do know for this year, we don't know. It looks like it's no, we haven't heard anything about Heritage Hanover. I don't think we're getting, a couple of weeks. We got the top series one. He's more than well. Anybody's more than welcome to go with us. If they can fit, we'll go. We'll pack. We'll look like a clown car pulling up. Um, uh, uh, which is going to be so they're going to probably come out with Big League because that's been their big thing for the low end stuff. They had that one low end, and I think that's been a really good seller for them. Big League, it's cheap, but they still have autographs. They still have alternate colors. They have uh, alternate pictures. There's stuff for people to enjoy in it. I've got to buy a new car, said I'll eat up some fundage. Got to try to make it through, pending Steve and Vinny figure out staying at the same spot or going. Yeah, but I mean, just bring your chairs and sit out front. You don't even have to go in. You don't even have to buy a ticket. Just buy a chair, sit out front, and be an exhibit. The IRP exhibit. Get you a little. What you do is all you guys get chairs, sit out front, bring you the dining table. Those little folding TV trays, wooden ones, and just sit out there, be one of the exhibits. I probably watched 4 times the women's sports to men's sports the last couple of years. Who had that 4 time on their beat? Well, I know you watch anything. Yeah, I think you. F Big League, bring back OD. Yeah, opening day. I think there's space for both. I think you can have one opening day that you have around opening day, and then you have Big League later in the season. So you have 2 affordable products on the shelf that the flippers ain't trying to get, and all that shit. How many days we eating big chicken and how many times per day? They don't serve breakfast. They're closed for breakfast. Yeah. And if anybody gets a chance to go try Big Chicken while you're in Chicago, do it. It's just down, not too far. It's if you're going to go to the casino, it's right around the corner from the casino. LOL, lots and lots of softball. Can't emphasize enough how much I've watched. Well, I mean, your daughter's playing, she's probably wants to watch. What's up, Jay? Get sandwich you take for breakfast the next day. Yeah. Those things are big enough. You probably cut them well, most people can. I can't either. I eat them. They're good. Very good. I love all the sauces. But I will start my road, and that's when Ed will come on and we'll talk about the food of the National one night. And we'll get him fired up on here for too long. Anything else before I take off? I feel like it's kind of ran our course fuck cards. I'm going to National for Big Chicken, Kate Money Martin to hang out, and yes, maybe buy some cards. That's right. Not me, Ed. Was amazed with how much I ate at Portobello's. Yeah, I mean, we're going to hit Portobello's. So I go there once. I'm not going to go there twice again. And I promise Ed, I'll go with him to what's that other place? The pizza place that he really wanted to go to. So, so we're headed tonight. Please, I'm releasing me and my pop in the morning at 8 for talking baseball. Me and him talk about the Dodgers pickup. I forget what it was. They're all so Pequots. There you go. Yeah, please check out that and give it a like. My dad will really appreciate it. Um, like I said, he's going to have a surgery in the next, not this week, but probably the next week, and for his hernia. At 79, he has a sports hernia, for heaven's sake. And then I'll have a pickups video Wednesday of some unique items. And it's gonna be it's gonna be also your player gets I already know the name of Wednesday. Wednesday editions. Your player gets traded and I get your cards. So we'll leave it at that. And until next time. And I want to say thank you to my new subscribers, new viewers. I picked up quite a handful here in the last week or so, and I'm sure it's because I'm being nominated, and I appreciate it. And chat was up, and I really appreciate it. So until next time, see ya.